consumer preferences, but also on the plain economic front. Tens of thousands of assembly line workers in Dagenham or wherever are laid off. A major multinational like Ford decides, well, maybe England isn't the place where we're going to invest $3 billion. We'll invest them in Taiwan or somewhere. I mean, in fact, if you look at the post-war decline of England, it has been, or Britain as a whole, it has been much more governed by what I would call sort of consumer and media landscape developments than it has by, straight politics in the old sense of the term. The fact is that we are not, we're rather burnt out, having virtually lost the Second World War. We're still, we lost the Second World War, but didn't benefit like the Germans and the Japanese from American-financed reindustrialization and a clean slate. We're still stuck with the past and with a huge anachronistic political and social system from the monarchy through Parliament to the civil service and everywhere else. The main choices are made in the consumer car showrooms out in the suburbs, in the supermarkets. These are the major choices that shift, taste. And where you have very dynamic consumer societies, as you have in France, Italy, Germany, the United States, Japan above all, there you have very dynamic economies and dynamic sort of social imaginations at large, moving around, governing, providing a sort of positive energy that flows into everything from computers to holiday vacation patterns. We miss that here. We haven't really climbed aboard that.
So you've never had any desire to get involved in politics?
But it's over. I think it's over. I think the sort of decisions that the British cabinet can make can barely influence what is really going on in our society. They fiddle with exchange rates. They get in and out of the, ERM. They put up, bank rate or lower it, interest rates or lower them. But they can't really, they can't sort of galvanize British society as a whole into, a positive leap forward, because politics doesn't govern anything. The paradigm of that is, are Japan and the United States, where politicians on the whole are relatively weak, but the economy is immensely strong. Consumer-led economies on the whole. Entertainment-led economies, I would say.
Yeah. One thing that remains, I think, with the current political paradigm is censorship. And you've had contact with that among, William Burroughs and so on. In the 60s it seemed to kind of manifest a kind of reactionary, very conservative ideology. In the 80s it moved on to feminist, along the lines of Andrea Dworkin and so on. In the 90s it's very much to do with computer networks, new information technologies, possibility that children might be able to get their hands on inflammatory material, spectrum of pornography, and so on. How long do you see censorship being able to hold out as a political strategy?
It's strong here. There's no doubt that in Britain we're one of the most censored societies in Western Europe. It is amazing to go abroad to Western Europe and see, particularly northern Western Europe, to see how comfortably most societies can cope with virtually unlimited freedom as far as sex is concerned. I'm a libertarian, but I'm not a total libertarian. I don't think that anybody should be able to switch to a snuff movie channel or a kiddie porn channel. Criminal acts are criminal acts, they should be prosecuted. But I think we suffer from the worst effects. I mean, I think there should be more violence and sex on television. I think sex and violence, far from being censored out of existence as they more or less are in this country. I mean, there are people here who are effectively censoring the news. I mean, I can remember the news back in the 60s during the Vietnam War and during the wars in the Congo and Biafra and so on. And graphic footage was shown on TV every night, and probably helped to certainly end the war in Vietnam to some. I'm sure it did. Now it's never shown, and I mean, as I've said many times, I think it's wrong that we're not allowed to see victims of air crashes, for example. I'm not suggesting the camera should linger ghoulishly over close-ups of mutilated people. But at the same time, I mean, never showing, say, plane crash victims means that, one sort of civic response, one's sense of outrage is dulled, or never given a chance to express itself. And, that's wrong. I mean, people should be able to give vent to their anger, their public anger, badly administered airports or airlines or what have you. The censorship here is gathering force. There's no question about it. There are people who will soon be turning, people like Alton, sinister little man, will be turning their attention to the printed word fairly soon. I deplore that. I think there are so many canutes really trying to hold back the sea. The tide is coming in. You cannot, just as in the Soviet Union and in strange Eastern